What's going on, guys? I am, of course, Matty D. Welcome to the Gillette Drafted After Show. So excited to be here with, obviously, Bianca and Jackie Redmond. How you guys doing?
Fantastic. For those who don't know, Bianca is our new critic on the show.
Yes, she's been ripping us for quite a long time, actually. Everybody, seasons. So now we decided to bring her out here so you can rip everybody in person. And Jackie, of course, is our judge this year. Season 3 winner, Season 4 host. You guys know her very well. Before we get into it, guys, I was thinking that we're doing the Gillette Drafted After Show. We need to have some sort of theme song, some Gillette Drafted theme song. So I worked on one. You guys ready for this? Okay, ready? Ready? It goes.
I'm ready.
It's the Gillette Drafted After Show. Drafted. Yeah?
You never cease to amaze me.
We'll work on that as we go through. Any of you musical fans out there, if you want to tweet us. Which brings me to my next point. Tweet at us, Gillette Drafted, hashtag Gillette Drafted. The question of the episode, obviously, is pick your top 6. So we want to know, everyone out there, who is your top 6? We obviously have Bianca here, who's going to be trolling Twitter, making sure that we get all your best tweets into the show, and we'll check in with her periodically. But guys, I want to dive right in. That was really, really intense.
Do you want to dive in? Because you just spoke for 45
no,
seconds.
I do want to dive in. I do want to dive in.
I think he's excited.
That was really
I'm
intense.
just kidding.
Bianca, how intense was that?
It was. I was in the control room for all of boot camp, and I was like on the edge of my seat for the picks. I didn't know who was going to make it. Jackie didn't know who was going to make it. She's one of the judges.
No, it was crazy, crazy intense. I mean, I had no idea what Greg was going to do. And I know sometimes in television you watch these shows and they act like they don't know who they're going to pick. And you're like, they know. Yeah. We honestly, I did not know what was going to happen. And it literally depended on what everyone said in that final deliberation. And if you actually look, I think we have a still of the deliberation, and I'm staring over at Greg Sansoni's page. I'm not listening to what anyone's saying. I'm like, is there a hint on that page of what's about to happen? Because with Greg Sansoni, this is a guy that makes decisions all the time, and you never really know what he's thinking. So I was trying to get some hints.
Cheat?
I was cheating.
There were definitely a few people that I thought coming into boot camp were going to absolutely destroy it and be shoo-ins.
Yeah.
The first one for me was Harrison. I loved Harrison all summer long. I thought he was amazing. I honestly thought he was like 1A, 1B, was guaranteed in there. But it turns out actually you had to fight for him.
Yeah, you know, you see in the episode, I give my little spiel about how he kind of disappointed at boot camp, but that he had deserved a spot. And what didn't make the episode was that I actually had to fight really hard. I mean, when we were deliberating before we brought everybody back, none of the other judges were impressed. In fact, Jenny Seiler from Gillette was like, Harrison, who's Harrison?
I know.
They forgot about
That's
it.
brutal.
That's
if you're like not, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
it
and
is.
I honestly, looking back and thinking back on it now, I'm like, I honestly, if I don't speak up for him, I really don't know that he makes the top 6.
Which is crazy, because I remember you were talking about him all day long, because he auditioned kind of early in the day, and then there were a whole bunch of other people that impressed.
Honestly, I was probably annoying the other judges because I was like, no, seriously, he's got a lot of potential. And they're like, yeah, he really wasn't that great. Like, stop talking to me. And I was like, okay, Greg Sansoni, I will stop.
No, but I'm glad you did, because as you'll see coming up, Harrison is an interesting figure in the show that we're going to see throughout, obviously, as he made the top 6.
Yeah.
The other guy for me was Joseph O'Toole, because Joseph O'Toole was the only guy who came in through the online auditions. So we really didn't know what he was going to do in boot camp. I was very surprised. I know that Cam really liked him. A few of the judges really liked him. Did you? You obviously were really involved all summer long. Did you think he was going to show well?
You know what? I loved all his videos. He was very strong, and he's so comfortable and personable. I was hoping he would bring that to boot camp. I don't know if he was as strong at boot camp as he was in his videos, like Harrison.
Well, the thing about Joseph O'Toole as well, and Teddy Jenner, they won the votes, right? So not to say it doesn't matter how you did at boot camp, but they were the top 2 vote getters, so they got into the top 6. But you know what, Joseph O'Toole, he's a smooth operator, that guy. You know, he's got swagger, and I knew he was going to be good coming in. But he was a little, his prompter read was a little off.
He doesn't talk a lot, though. You know what I mean? He's not very brash in that way. We'll see in the show if that changes at all, but he's pretty humble when he came in, so I guess maybe that's why.
Is it selfish, though, that the highlight for me, which didn't actually even make the episode, I know my highlight is supposed to be from what we just saw.
Sure.
My highlight was, what you don't see is Greg's like, you know what, I really respect Jackie's opinion, so Harrison, you're in. It's like, yeah, good for him. You respect me?
Yeah,
what?
No, honestly,
Greg Sansoni respects me?
There's nothing better in the world than a compliment from Greg Sansoni, just
Seriously,
so all of you know.
No.
So what's going on Twitter? Is there? I got something in my ear there from Farquharson, our producer, who's going nuts that we
You're
actually...
gonna love Twitter.
Okay.
Michael Lepore wants to get you a record deal because your voice is an angel's voice.
See, I always knew I liked Lepore.
To the camera.
If you guys didn't see Lepore's cooking video, Lepore, you're my boy, man. Way to go with the cooking video. I thought that was great.
I have to say, for my own personal benefit, Jackie, I liked your highlight, but I have one that it's even more selfish.
Go.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but these top 6, they're babes. They're good-looking guys. I think we need to change the name of this show to Gillette Drafted's Next Top Model.
Okay, for me especially, I agree with you. Brett Gonzalez, who didn't get a whole lot of screen time, Gonzalez is a good-looking man. I'm telling you right now.
I have a picture. Can we bring up the picture? That's
Oh
me.
my God.
That's a promo.
What a picture.
That's a promo for the next season of The Bachelorette.
Oh my, yes.
Bianca
Listen,
in all her glory.
Good-looking
okay,
guys.
I'm saying Teddy Jenner looks like $1 million right there.
Teddy Jenner looks ready to take Bianca
He's
out
got
on
the
a
arm
date.
around me.
Wow, he's got the arm and everything.
He's right into it.
Everyone except Andrew Corey on the far left. I don't know if you can see
He's
that.
married.
He's married. That's what it is. He knows.
He's
knows.
trying to lean away.
Okay, so is there, I know we talked a little bit of highlights. Do you guys have a low light? Was there anything from the episode that maybe made you a little nudgy, something you didn't like?
I have a low light.
What?
So I said already, I was here the whole day of boot camp.
Yeah.
In the control room.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it watching that clip of anything, because I didn't make it to screen time. I didn't get any television time.
I know, and last time Andrea in the control room was getting some serious screen time, so I understand. Quick low light, very quick.
You know what? I don't have a low light. I really enjoyed that episode a lot.
I
wish we got to see more of the top 25.
Sure.
You know, nobody really got to see Reed Price, who had amazing videos through the summer, got that 25th spot. I wish we had seen a little more from him, but we only have so much time, right?
Of course, we also didn't get to Andrew Blanchett, who I heard is also blowing up Twitter. Blanchett, don't think we missed you, buddy. Don't think we missed you. But of course, we have an in-studio guest today. Yes, and something that we're going to be doing throughout the weeks here on the Gillette Drafted After Show. So I'm very pleased to introduce our first in-studio guest, the one, the only, JJ Lieberman. Come on down, buddy. Here he is.
Get over here.
Come on, with the slow walk. What is the slow walk you doing? What's up, buddy? Nice to see you.
How's it going?
Come on in, man. Come
It's
on
your
in.
turn, eh?
Hey, come on. I
How
wanted to
are
jump
you?
in there.
Gets in there.
JJ.
How you
Buddy,
guys doing?
let's hear from you, because you were actually a part of the 5 that had to fight
Yeah.
for your lives in front of Greg Sansoni, who intimidates me to this day, Cam Stewart, myself, and Jenny Seiler. What was that moment like for you?
I wish they let us do it physically.
I don't know.
Arm
No.
wrestle.
What was it like? Take us through, honestly.
Honestly, I was like, there was a point where I said, like, I feel like you guys were trying to break us, and it was so intense because I don't think what a lot of people get is how long the process is, you know, and it was intense, and you feel you're there, so you feel like it can go any way, right? So it was really intense.
Was it surreal to watch it back? Because I know from my experience, and Maddie, maybe you would agree, you know, you go through the motions and you're there and you're doing it and you know you're on this show and you're competing for this job. It doesn't really hit you, or at least it didn't hit me until I actually watched the episodes and I was like, whoa, that actually happened. That wasn't in my head.
Yeah, and we were talking about it while we were watching it too. I don't think people understand, like, we didn't have a lot of time to hang out with everybody, the top 25, but there were a lot of great people that I got close with and who I still, you know, chat with a lot.
Sure.
And it's like you get really close and you want to be there because you've hung out for a couple days with these guys and girls and you're like, man, this would be awesome. So yeah.
Speaking of one of the girls from Gillette Drafted Top 25, we actually have Courtney on the line.
You don't have to look up.
What's
to
up,
the
Courtney?
side, eh?
There she is.
Courtney, can you hear us?
I sure can.
So thank you for joining us. I believe you're in Whistler.
I sure am, yeah.
You hitting the slopes? Are you like?
Not quite yet, thank goodness. It hasn't snowed yet, no.
But thank you for joining us. So I guess the question that we asked JJ, I guess the same question. That you just watched the show, I'm guessing?
Sure did, yep.
And how was it watching it back?
You know, it's funny because I feel like since we actually were there, I feel like I got to heal a little bit. And that was just like ripping open old wounds.
What was, Courtney,
So, yeah, pretty awesome.
Courtney, you talk about, ripping open old wounds. Obviously, this is something that you really wanted. And by the way, you did a fantastic job at boot camp.
Well, I appreciate that, but obviously not quite good enough.
Don't say that, Courtney.
My question for you is kind of similar to JJ's. What was it like standing there with those four guys? And when do you think that you maybe you lost Greg Sansoni?
It's funny. Standing there, the show didn't do it justice. Like, we were standing there what felt like 30 minutes. Like, we were standing there for so long in silence, and it was just this tense time. But I don't know. I don't know what happened. And honestly, like, I'm not that I ever want to lose at anything, but Andrew is such a great guy that standing next to him, it was kind of like, oh, well, I guess it's okay because he's pretty awesome. But I don't know. I don't know at what point Greg didn't like me anymore.
Oh, he still likes you.
So JJ, I guess one of the questions too, and Courtney, we'll ask you this as well, so we'll let you think about it. Watching it back, do you feel that you should have made the top 6? Do you feel like you got robbed in a way?
No, I don't feel I got robbed. I feel like I would have fit. I don't feel I got robbed because, like I said, I mean, everyone who I got to know that was on there, they deserved it. Like, it sucks. It sucks. Like, don't get me wrong. I want to be there. When you guys called me last week, I'm like, hey, you guys, you made it your bad decision. Can I be in the top 6 now? But no, I would have loved the experience watching the. For next week's show, it looked like so awesome. I'm so jealous of everyone, but man, like this right now, the experience I had, you can't take that part away. You can't take that part away.
Bianca, you had a question for Courtney?
I have a question, but I also want to say that I love how much love everybody has for their fellow contestants. We have so many tweets coming from like Henry Whitfield, Mark Richler saying that they loved Courtney and they were heartbroken to see her go.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Chopped liver over here?
And JJ. But Courtney, my question is, and it's kind of a not nice one.
You are the queen of snark, right?
I can't help it.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah. Launch.
So when I was watching all the videos online and snarking in my recaps, Courtney did all the videos. I always loved her. Yeah. And I noticed that Brett didn't do a lot of the videos, didn't show up for a lot of the videos, wasn't as personable in his videos. So I was really shocked when he made the top 6. Did that bring up any feelings for you, Courtney?
That's not a leading question at all, is it, Bianca?
Answer the question, Courtney. Answer the question.
What? Honestly, like the tough part for me, standing there in that moment, actually, like it was super tense, and then it was kind of just like, and you're cut, go home, see you later, and you just like walk out, and you don't like get to sort of take 20 minutes and talk to the judges and be like, well, why? What happened? What could I have done differently? So it's kind of just like, okay, I guess that's it, and you leave. And so I think a little bit more after reflecting on it a little. I think what really killed me was that I understand, of course, Teddy and Joseph O2, they get in on votes. That makes perfect sense to me. But then sort of beyond that, it felt like there was no constant criteria. So I appreciate Brett gets in and super handsome guy. That makes perfect sense to me. But obviously the criteria used to select Brett was entirely different than the criteria used to select Harrison. And so it just felt like standing there in that moment, it was like, well, what should I have done,
Courtney, listen, thank you for being so honest. And the part of the problem is that everyone's kind of at a different level, right? And as you know, and that everyone is kind of judged individually, although obviously you need to pick your top 6. But anyway, Courtney, thank you for joining us. Go back to the slopes. We got to wrap up.
I will just quickly comment on what she said, because what she just said, Maddie, is quite captivating. I'm going to cut her off the line
I'm just saying, we got a lot to get through on the Gillette Drafted After Show.
It's going to be quick. It's going to be quick. What I will say is that with this show, and I'm speaking for everyone that was in the top 25, everybody that gets selected for this show is selected for a different reason. And I think part of being successful on this show is realizing that reason and kind of learning how to utilize that to your advantage. So, what works for some people doesn't work for others. But Courtney, I thought that you were fantastic, and I really hope that you do continue to pursue a career in sports, because you have, a God-given talent in terms of playing off of other people. You're never caught off guard. Amazing personality. Before we let you guys go, I want to know, obviously you saw yourselves in the top 6. Who going into boot camp did you see yourself competing against quickly?
I love Josepho too. I tweeted him directly saying, "Dude, I mean, you're a stud. Not like a stud when it comes to broadcasting."
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. Okay, just making sure. This is national TV.
What about you, Courtney? Was there someone that you thought was for sure going to be in there?
You know what? A lot of the guys I thought for sure were in there. I mean, I thought Bruno was a shoo-in right from the get-go. I thought Harrison was a shoo-in right from the get-go. I thought that the one guy that kind of walked away and I was really surprised was Jude. I really thought that Jude would be in there.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Maybe we'll have you guys back through the show. We'll see.
Why not? I'm down.
I'm not doing anything else.
JJ's
I'm
coming.
gonna make a statement, handcuff myself to the chair.
Okay.
too.
Courtney, thanks so much. We'll see you soon.
Have a great night. Thanks, guys.
All right, so JJ, we're going to let you go, buddy, but thank you for
Thanks a
coming
lot.
out,
I
dude.
really
awesome.
appreciate it.
Fantastic.
Thanks a lot, guys.
See you, JJ.
Take care.
Nice.